Greetings and welcome back to room 303 in our chats with Emily as we are calling our readings through the poetry of Emily Dickinson. We turn now to poem 171, Wait Till the Majesty of Death. This poem, when it was published in 1891 after Emily's passing, was called Precedence, and there will maybe be good reason for that. Our assumptions are that you've been following our stuff at learnstrong.net, down that left-hand side, Chats with Emily, a playlist. I'm hopeful you've already studied our introductory set of comments. I'm hopeful that you've as well already read the previous 170 poems. We just finished with poem 170, Portraits Are to Daily Faces. Now, we are back in some ways to poem 98, and the observation that death is the great equalizer. She'll even use the word democratic here in this poem. And we will end this brief set of comments with where I think Emily is channeling a whole lot of this, the play Hamlet, which for Emily I think was an important play for a lot of the poems that she's dealing with. Let's enjoy the poem. Wait till the majesty of death invests so mean a brow. Almost a powdered footman might dare to touch it now. Wait till in everlasting robes that democrat is dressed, then prate about preferment and station and the rest. Around this quaint courtier, obsequious angels wait. Full royal is his retinue, full purple is his state. A lord might dare to lift the hat to such a modest clay, since that, my lord, the Lord of Lords, receives unblushingly. Now, I think there is a whole lot of irony going on in this poem. I think Emily is talking about how death is the great equalizer. It doesn't matter whether one is of lofty station or of low station. In death, everybody becomes modest clay. Again, to quote, of course, Longfellow's Psalm of Life, dust thou art, to dust created was not spoken of the soul. Notice we'll begin with two waits here. Wait till the majesty of death invests, and again the political economic language is pervasive through this poem, invests so mean a brow. Mean, of course, taking us later to modest clay. In other words, in death, the majesty of death is ironic here, because even the lowliest of individuals looks just like the most lofty of individuals in death. And then again, wait till in everlasting robes. You remember in that we've already commented a number of times, the idea of white and clothing of white and all of that. When we get to poem 248, it's going to be the white robe. Wait till in everlasting robes that democrat is dressed. And then a few seconds later, it's going to be purple. Let's go to poem 380. And she'll say it this way. There is a flower that bees prefer and butterflies desire. To gain the purple democrat, the hummingbird aspire. Notice here, the democrat is dressed. In other words, death is the democrat. He's very egalitarian, if you will. Then prate about preferment. Notice quotation marks. And station, quotation marks. And the rest. In other words, we like to think of ourselves as somehow maybe important, but death is really the majesty of all majesties. In other words, death is the great collapser. Death is the great equalizer, if you will. Around this quiet courtier, notice the irony of the language, obsequious angels wait. Obsequious used once and only once in all of Emily's poetry, and it's here. Full royal is his retinue, full purple is his state. And purple takes us back to poems 67 and 73, one of Emily's favorite colors. By the way, in Thomas Higginson's diary, he reports that at Emily's funeral, that her sister actually placed two purple heliotropes in her casket. Okay, so Emily finished her life on earth with this color purple. A lord might dare, notice we go back to the word dare earlier, a lord might dare to lift the hat to such a modest clay. Notice her use of the word Lord here, obviously, as it could be both an earthly Lord and obviously the Lord of Lords, as she'll get to it. Since that, my Lord, the Lord of Lords, receives unblushingly. Now this Lord of Lords takes us, of course, to biblical references, Deuteronomy 10:17, Psalm 136:3, 1 Timothy 6:15, and Revelation 17:14, all will be what I think Emily is playing with here. Well, what exactly is it that she's saying? I think what her argument is that we got to be very, very careful with the way we think about ourselves in the pride-filled way that we can think about ourselves, because in the end, death is the true equalizer of all equalizers. At 2b, hey, notice all of the exclamation points. We got 7 of them. It's almost as if Emily is trying to make a profound point here. At 3a, well, obviously we could think about Marcus Aurelius' meditation, soon you will have forgotten all things and all things will have forgotten you. I think that's a compelling line. But I want to take us to Hamlet 4:3. You'll remember that we have this conversation between Hamlet, crazy Hamlet, pretending to be crazy, talking with his stepdaddy Claudius, who's of course a king, but also a killer of his own brother. And you'll remember that he is talking when asked about where is Polonius at supper, not where he eats, but where he has eaten a certain convocation of politic worms, eat him even now. And then he'll pause and he'll say, you'll remember, we fat all creatures, else to fat us. And we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar is but veritable service, 2 dishes, but to 1 table, that's the end. And of course, you know, Claudius will say, alas, alas, and the man's lost his mind. But if you'll think about it, what he says next, you know, that a king can die, the beggar goes out and catches the worm that ate of that king and is able to catch a fish and live through the guts of a beggar, as he'll say. We've given full lecture on this at learnstrong.net. I just want to point out that Emily, I think, is using that scene as she talks here about what really in the end death is. It is the great democrat. It's the great, if you will, equalizer. And it makes everybody equal in the sight of not any Lord of this world, but the Lord of Lords, as she put it in quotation marks, to come. Finally, at 3b, what do you think about this notion of death as the great equalizer? And is it true that even in death, we still give certain people more prominence than other people? And are you okay with that? And to what degree are you changing your views a little bit about this notion of death as the equalizer? Thank you.